Jiminy Crickets, it's Friday again, and I hope it's been a good one, America. We are back here on the Discussion Combustion Production YouTube channel to have some fun. My name is Kevin Badstone. It is September time. Football is back. The seasons are changing, baby. And the best way to bring in the weekend is with my good buddy across the table, Mr. Arthur, the Attack 5 Raw.
Oh, yeah, baby. The seasons change, cycles change, and the best way to keep a positive mindset is to allow yourself to change with the cycles. Don't allow your ego to get stuck in an old cycle that no longer exists, okay? That's my quick tidbit of advice to start this one off. Happy Friday.
And one cycle that I am glad has not ended is the Today in History segment. What do we got, Art?
Today in History, September 6th. Wow, it's already here. So 1492, Christopher Columbus, his fleet leaves Gomera, the Canary Islands. And I didn't know where the Canary Islands were, so...
Morocco, isn't it?
Yeah, so you can read it there. I was going to ask you, but I did write it. So it's just west of Morocco.
The only reason I know that is because of the Grand Tour.
Oh, okay. Northwestern Africa is where he departs. He was trying to find a better trade route to India and stumbles across the New World instead. Moving forward to 1595, a polar bear attack kills a member of the Second Dutch expedition to the Arctic on Stateneliland, something like that. It's northern Russia. But, dude, just think about that. These guys were taking these wooden boats up into the Arctic, like trying to plot this new land, just getting wrecked by the environment. And then all of a sudden, like, this bear appears out of the snow. I was thinking as I wrote that would be a dope horror movie.
Oh, yeah.
Like this bear stalk, like The Edge, that movie, The Edge.
Or The Revenant, remember that movie?
That was a really good movie.
With
Leonardo.
That changed my opinion about bears forever.
Mm-hmm.
That's a powerful animal, but especially up there, the polar bear is the most aggressive bear.
Yes. I heard the story of a pilot. A pilot told me this story, and he told me a story of a rare albino grizzly bear.
A rare bear?
Yeah, a rare albino grizzly bear.
So it looked like a polar bear.
Yes. That they thought it was a polar bear that was in the wrong location. So then they relocated it to the north.
And turns out...
And then realized that it's not the right type of bear for this. And then bring it back. And then another group of people find this albino grizzly. And they're like, oh my God, it's a polar bear in the wrong place. Take it up north again just to bring it. So this bear got mislabeled twice and like taken to the wrong, just a whole rigmarole.
That's pretty wild.
And I heard this story through a pilot.
Interesting.
Anyway, we're good at small talking. Moving forward to 1776, the first failed submarine attack occurs. And it's actually the first attack from a submarine, but it failed. It was David Bushnell's Turtle was the name of the submarine, and they attempted to attack a British sailboat, the Eagle, in the Bay of New York, and it failed. So I think that's kind of crazy that, obviously naval warfare has happened for a long time, but submarine naval warfare has been around for like over 200 years.
Well, yeah. I mean, 1776.
Yeah.
We all know what happened that year. I mean, good old America, baby.
Yeah, we talk about that all the time here. 1866, Frederick Douglass is first black delegate to a national convention. I think that's a good call out. I always like inclusion.
Well, I mean, that's, around the time, Civil War, we had Abe Lincoln freeing slaves, just big moves in civil rights.
Yeah, and I think everybody's the same everywhere, regardless. Cultures might be a little different, but everyone has the same needs everywhere, and we're all pretty much the same.
We all got to piss and shit.
Exactly. We all got to eat. We all need a roof over our head. And then just a fun fact, in 1994, actor Jackson Pinckney, he was awarded almost $500,000 after being partially blinded by Jean-Claude Van Damme during the filming of Cyborg.
Damn.
I believe this was...
That's a good movie.
Yeah, I've seen something on this. Like, they were doing real stunts, and, like, he, like, did, like, a back spinning kick or something, and, like, kicked him in the face.
Wow.
And gave him partial blindness permanently. So, yeah.
And they awarded almost $500,000.
Yep, almost $500,000 for that. And that is Today in History.
Great recap there. A lot of great things in history, of course. We're going to bring things close to home here in Colorado. The hiking. A lot of folks, when I came here in 2007, I could not wait to get up into the Rockies and go see this thing.
Majestic.
And a lot of people come through here to ski and, see the beautiful scenery. But apparently, according to some new data here, Art, hiking the 14ers, way down.
Okay.
It's way down. So, in comparing to 2015, so almost 10 years ago, they estimate about 415,000 hikers on the trail, and it is now down to around 260,000 hikers.
Oh wow.
Which there could be a lot of contributing factors to that. It could just be people have already done it; they don't want to rehike it again. Maybe we're not getting as much tourism here in Colorado. You got to remember, in 2015, marijuana had just been legalized.
Oh yeah.
So there was a lot of reason for people to come take a hike and get high.
Yep. Let's go by a recreational shop and like hit a 14er. What a Colorado thing to do. Get Bojo pizzas on the way back.
Have you ever been stoned at 14,000 feet?
Yes.
Man, I don't think I have.
What,
I've been drunk up there.
You were there with me.
I didn't smoke though.
When we were going up, and I guess
that wasn't 14.
That was almost 14.
It was. We did James Peak,
Yeah.
so
That wasn't quite
13,700.
Yeah, and like
That was epic though.
Little Jay, like a little hit up there. It was very windy, so I had to like get behind a rock and like.
That was an intense hike.
It was intense.
I mean, we had to earn that thing, but it's when you get up there and you summit these amazing mountains that we have in Colorado, you see why people do it. So that's just some of the reasons why I think maybe. I mean, there's all these stats here if you folks want to go down and click this link and read what's going on. It's a local news source here on 9 News Colorado that kind of go into it. But I just found it interesting. When people think Colorado, that's what they think: hiking mountains, skiing, right, and smoking a little bit of weed. So apparently. The weed hasn't gone anywhere, but the hiking has.
I wonder if it's because people are becoming more introverted. And, like, sometimes laziness perpetuates laziness.
Yep.
Like, you kind of get stuck. Like, we were even talking about how you and I get stuck in ruts sometimes where we're like, oh, I'm not even cleaning my house for some reason this week.
Yeah, I got to keep it moving.
So who knows what it is. I'm okay if there's less people here.
On the trail?
Yeah. I mean, just in general, most people are... worried about themselves, as we all are. But that's a whole side topic there.
Yep, that is. So just a little fun fact, Colorado hiking is down, so if you want to get up there and hit the 14ers, you might have a little bit more elbow room.
One last week of heat and coming up, too.
Let's go, baby. All right, we're moving on. Joey the Jaws Chestnut. All right, you put this article in here. I did read about it. I haven't watched it yet. So he did it live on Netflix earlier this week on Labor Day. This man just continues to defy competitive eating odds. I mean, it's just ridiculous. All right, he ended up eating 83 hot dogs in 10 minutes.
Yeah, he beat Kobayashi's 67 hot dogs consumed, so he's almost by 20.
It's incredible.
Almost by 20. And then the dude that was actually in the hot dog eating contest, did less. He did 58.
Right, for the mustard belt that we talked about earlier in the summer.
For the actual mustard belt. So you got people out there that are outperforming the mustard belt winner, but they just couldn't be in the competition?
Well, so basically, if you remember, we kind of touched on it around 4th of July when Joey Chestnut wasn't allowed to compete for the mustard belt.
Because he was with the Impossible Meat or something.
He had a sponsorship with the Impossible Dog or whatever, and so he ended up doing his own thing. I think it was down in Texas. He ended up hosting his own eating competition, and he did put down – this guy did 58 in 10 minutes for the mustard belt. He did it in 5 back in July. So then, come – to Labor Day here, 2024, he does this thing on Netflix that I haven't seen yet, but 83 hot dogs in 10 minutes.
And then the dude looks like he's in decent shape, too.
He's in great shape.
That's the thing about it.
You have to be, he's an athlete.
Yeah.
You have to be athletic, and you got to train your body, whether you're a race car driver, football player, or a competitive eater. There's athleticism to it.
That's crazy. And keeping it athletic and keeping our bodies moving, I'm going to talk about 15 major benefits to walking. Now, the Raw Talk series, maybe season 2 will be out at some point, but I did a whole episode on how your life can change in 20 minutes, and that's strictly about walking, so I figured it would be only do justice to actually have an article about this. I'm going to read through these 15 benefits really quick. Obviously, there's a bunch of literature underneath each one of these bulletin points that you could read into if you click on the link in the show notes. And then also, what should we be trying to maintain for a healthy amount of walking? So first, it's going to improve your mood. It'll burn calories and maintain a healthy weight. It improves heart health. It reduces your risk of chronic disease. It reduces your stress. It improves your sleep, boosts your brain power. It alleviates joint pain. Yes, if you move it, it actually helps. It delays onset of
varicose veins.
Yep, so that's where you got the spider vein look.
So, kind of like old man veins, I used to call it.
Yeah, so it helps decrease that, stimulates your digestive system, kickstarts your immune system, protects your bones, enhances creativity, makes other goals more obtainable because you're obtaining something, and then also helps you live longer.
Well, I know you've always been pro walking for pretty much as long as I've known you.
It's free. Anyone can do this.
You've always loved
Everyone
walks.
can walk. Like, you're not paying for a gym membership. You're not doing, like, you're literally could just walk.
Yeah.
It's free.
Yeah, I think you're the one that kind of got me into it. Like, back in the day when we first met, 2009 or something, we'd be goofing off. You're like, come on, man, let's go for a walk. Let's go walk it out, talk it out.
Yeah, quick walk.
Walk and talk, baby. Walking's great. I've been trying to add some more steps to my day because I don't have a very physically demanding job, so I don't, I have to find other ways to be physical. And whether that's, going to get the mail or walking across the street to the store or, doing my incline that I do down in Parker, Colorado.
You still hitting that on Tuesdays?
I try to, yeah.
Nice.
I mean, if I don't have to record or something like that, I try to stay consistent. But I've been switching up my location. I've been going to different spots now.
Okay. Did you do
the one you were telling me to do? I haven't done that one.
The bluff? Okay.
You keep telling me about that. But yeah, walking's great. My mom with her back and kind of her health right now, like that's one thing she was really looking forward to is her walks. And so I'm hoping she can get back on the horse with that. They can figure out what's going on there. But great breakdown here of all the benefits of it. I mean, when you think about the things that stand out to me personally is the improved sleep, the varicose veins are cool, the brain power. It's amazing that it does all that, but it makes sense. A body in motion stays in motion, and a body at rest will stay at rest.
And we are nomadic from evolution. Like we're always meant to be walking and moving. And so a couple little things here. They say that you want to get in 10,000 steps a day. Well, that's not necessarily true. Really, if you could get 7,000 steps in a day, or even if you're a little bit older, around 4,500 steps. Even if you're just getting 2,700 steps in. So you can have these different goals, and it doesn't matter how fast you walk it, as long as you go the distance. So take some time, do some walking. It's free. You don't need a gym membership. Put in some headphones if you don't have the prettiest neighborhood. You could even be on your phone, like looking at TikTok and still doing this if you're not checked into the walk enough yet. But once you start getting expert walk level, you're not looking at your phone. You're enjoying what's around.
When you're a novice and you still got Snapchat and TikTok pulled up, I like how you sold that. People are like,
occasionally I'll pull it out. Like today, I pulled it out for a little bit because I was like, you're not always into the walk. And so sometimes you want to look at something else or listen to some music. That's okay. You're still getting the steps.
You're still moving. I personally am not good at looking at my phone and walking. I have a tendency to veer off and run into things, and it's no good for me.
Everyone slows down about 50%, I think.
When they're walking and looking at the phone.
When you look at your phone, your speed is like half.
It's just amazing, though, how much you miss what's going on around you if you're just dialed into that thing.
It's true. And look, quick walk, you're outside, you get to see the seasons change. Check out that Raw Talk. How can your life change in 20 minutes with a free walk?
I love it.
On this same YouTube channel.
Love it. Life-changing. Fantastic. I'll tell you who changed his life around back in 2015. Our good boy, David Rush. All right? He's just incredible what this man has been able to do. I love him. There's something about his energy. I want to meet the guy. Yeah. I know we said we wanted to get him on DCPC, and that I still have never reached out to him. But we know, so he did finally beat Silvio Saba. We're like, man, where's Rush? Is he going to keep going or what? He went over to London. He did all these things. But it's interesting when you kind of look at his backstory a bit because it kind of started with a rivalry. It's good old brotherly, sisterly fun. Siblings, right? Competing, competition.
Okay, so this is like how it began.
Yeah, and just doing things like, who can, just like you and I do, stupid stuff. Who can spin the stool the longest? Stuff like that.
You did take that.
That's a story for another time. It was a good time, though, back in the old drinking days, and probably pissed off your entire floor of neighbors. But David Rush, he started competing with his sisters. So the first thing he really learned how to do was blind juggling.
Okay. He's
like, if I can learn how to do that, that's a good skill set. I can't even juggle not blindfolded.
You could probably get a couple in.
10, 15 seconds, and I'm dropping them.
Okay, I mean, you can still juggle.
So he went with the world record, 6 minutes, 34 seconds, blinded.
That's crazy.
And that's kind of what got him into this thing. And now fast forward to 2024, almost 10 years later, he's at 181 world records certified by Guinness Book. Because that's the thing we've learned that David Rush has taught me as we've covered him all these weeks, is that you and I could be breaking records, but it doesn't matter. You have to have somebody from Guinness Book present to watch it, record it, analyze it for it to be official. So
I wonder if you have to pay them to come out.
I would think so.
Like you have to pay them to come out? Like, how does Guinness make their money?
That's a good question. I mean, we always talk about the Guinness Book of World Records. Clint and I were talking about this when he filled in for you a few weeks ago. In like 99, 2000, remember going to the school library and you'd see the Guinness Book of World Records?
That was the most sold book probably.
That was my whole library time, was looking through that. Loved it. So they were making a lot of money then. I don't know how they make money now. I would imagine sponsorships, partner, because you don't see Guinness Book like sponsoring the NFL or anything like that. It's just kind of its own world, NASCAR. Yeah. It's just kind of its own thing. But David Rush took it upon himself. He's like, I am going to be the man who holds the most. He did it in under 10 years. Congrats, David Rush. You're a solid lad.
And one thing that I will highlight is I guarantee you this man failed on almost every single one of his records he's attempting to break. I bet you he failed on it multiple times before actually sticking it and 100%. Setting that. So it's like, go out there and fail a little bit in life. You're going to have a much more rewarding experience with failure.
You got to fail. Yeah, I mean, you can see it in his videos. A couple of his attempts that he did with the basketball one, he's like, man, we were here for 6 hours, like, couldn't get it. You know, and they're like, the Guinness guy's leaving. Like, we got to get this record in.
Yeah.
You know, so, yeah, he's definitely pushed the envelope on that.
That's intense, man. So, keeping this thing moving, last week's Would You Rather, we asked...
A ridiculous question. Do you remember it?
Oh, it was on the... Chef Boyardee versus Cup of Noodle.
Yep, you got to choose one that you're going to eat for the rest of your life. Both options aren't great, as we discussed, and it went exactly how I predicted it would last week.
50-50?
It went 50-50.
Shut up.
It went 50-50 again on Chef Boyardee and the Cup of Noodles.
Really? Well, everyone out there who voted Cup of Noodles, represent.
Let's go, Chef Boyardee. Where my peeps at? All right, what do we got this week for the Would You Rather?
So for this Would You Rather not sleep for a week? So you got to stay up for a whole week. Or would you rather not eat for an entire week? So you can still stay hydrated and get good sleep, but you're not eating.
This is kind of a tough one because there's cases to be made for both. Both of them are going to be, I would say, some might say not equally as challenging. I would view them as equally challenging. After our good friend that was on Discussion Combustion podcast, Justin, that 90s kid, he did where did he go? He went 21 days fast. 3 weeks, no food.
Oh, yeah, he did do something like
that. Now, granted, he was still drinking lemon waters and stuff. He found a way to do it. So I would rather do the 7-day fast, because that's essentially what it is.
Yes.
Than not sleep because sleep deprivation is something I don't ever want to experience.
I mean, it's honestly a high that's its own,
It's weird.
You think the Who Cares movement is strong right now? Don't sleep for fucking 72 hours, and then you'll
It's not good for you.
No, it's not. And I don't even know if you could actually stay awake for an entire week. I mean, that might be too many days.
Well, I think what your body does, I heard some Army guys talking about this when they were training, and having to carry logs through the night, they were running, and they said they were napping as they were running, carrying all this gear through the woods because they were so exhausted.
Yeah. You can die from lack of sleep. So
your body starts to shut down.
I don't know. Maybe a week is too long, but talking about it like that, I'm just going to not eat for a week.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that week fast and get some good rest while I'm doing it.
I feel like there's some people out there. I feel like our good buddy Schween would probably choose well, he doesn't really eat, so I don't know which he would choose on that. I'm gonna have to ask him when this show wraps.
I think now that we're talking about it, I think most people are gonna lean toward not eating for a week.
I would agree.
But let us know on the X page or leave a comment down below here on the YouTube channel.
That's right, and that is the Would You Rather. We're moving on. Pumpkin. I was just talking about this today with some folks. That had a Starbucks nearby. Pumpkin spice. It's that time of year again.
Yep.
Bring out the UGG boots, ladies, and do all the things you do. I'm not a big PSL guy myself. I'm not even an L guy. I don't like lattes.
No. I'll do it.
Well, I'm sure you would.
I like the latte.
You always have. I never have.
So how do you pronounce this word? Pumpkin spice pundit? Pundit?
Pundit.
Pundit? What is a pundit? Is that like a...
A pundit's like a... What's the best way to describe pundit? It's like a spin, not a spin-off, but you're kind of playing off something else.
Okay.
Right?
Okay, I see. So either way, Trader Joe's, look, today is the last day that you can enroll to test and try and rate every single pumpkin-related thing that they have at Trader Joe's.
It's just too much.
So they're doing these applications, and today, the 6th, is the very last day of these applications. So what you can do is just fill out your application below, and what you will get if you're selected to be this pumpkin tasting candidate, is you will receive a $500 gift card to purchase all these things from Trader Joe's, and then you're also going to get a one-time $1,000 payment for reviewing all these products. They have pumpkin waffles. They got pumpkin palooza food at Trader Joe's. They got over 20 different pumpkin flavor foods and beverages that you can get into. So look, I like trying some of the pumpkin stuff. I love me a good old classic pumpkin pie.
Oh, yeah.
With the whipped cream on top.
Yeah.
Occasional pumpkin latte is fun during the season, but
how come no pumpkin seeds? How come the seeds aren't getting the love?
I don't know why, but those are good year round.
I love pumpkin seeds.
Those are good year round.
They're tasty. Salted and roasted, yeah. Let's go pumpkin.
I know that's not for you, but I guarantee you somebody out there, this is the last day that you could put in your application, and maybe you should use AI to have the winning submission.
Is that your suggestion?
Yeah.
Is that folks use AI?
Go into Chat GPT and, like, you know, how can I get this position, and then, like, give it some parameters, and then use AI to fucking...
Can't always trust the AI. Our good buddy Clint loves that AI. He tried to do an AI conversion on my smoker. Complete fail.
What do you mean?
He did the conversion on time to put... We did smoked mac and cheese at my place for the race this past weekend, right? And Clint's like, he's like, you know, give me the temp of your smoker. Let me put it into AI here. And he did the conversion. We put it in there for that amount of time. And you saw it. It was like room temp at best.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
It wasn't that. I mean, it just wasn't.
You have to double check AI's work, okay?
You definitely do.
You can't just full send it.
You can't, you know, you got to own your shit when you're smoking and whatnot. But get your pumpkins out there. Do whatever you're going to do with it. It's that time. And we're going to keep it moving now. This is a crazy story here, Art, actually. So a 7-foot shark off the coast of my neck of the woods up in Cape Cod was eaten by an even bigger shark.
Oh.
So in my mind at first, I was thinking in this article, it was like, well, it was probably an orca. Like, what animal is massive enough to eat a 7-foot shark? Well, because they have GPS trackers on his dorsal fin, they were able to determine that it was, you know, within the same, I think they call it a poor beagle shark. That's like the, you know, I don't know shark breeds that well, but apparently that's what they call them. And it got eaten by an even bigger shark. Think about that. That's a massive meal. If you're a 9-foot shark eating a 7-foot shark, you know, whooping that thing down up there in the coast of New England.
My guess is that it was eaten by another poor beagle shark, and it was basically contested waters between these two upcoming males. And
you think it was like a territorial thing?
Yeah, and the 9-foot shark won and, like, made a meal out of it.
Ate the whole thing.
I mean, that's what my guess is.
That's a massive shark, though.
That's what my guess is, man. I mean, you go out into the water, there's always bigger fish. Like, I go out to the bar, there's always a bigger dude. Like, there's always a fucking bigger fish.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I suppose there is.
That's just how it is.
Yeah. Yeah, in the animal kingdom, for sure. We see it all the time. We see it, you know, the lion runs the jungle and the orcas run the sea. And what would you say runs the sky? Probably the scavengers, like the ravens and... You know,
like they're afraid of the eagles though too.
Yeah, the eagle is kind of the superior bird.
I would say eagles run the day.
Owls,
ox too. Owls run the night.
Yeah, hawks.
Owls run the night, and then falcons are a predatory bird.
Falcons.
But the small creature that runs the skies in the fields is the fucking dragonflies.
Oh, the dragonflies.
Yeah, dragonflies.
Who was telling me if you have dragonflies on,
that was me.
Mosquitoes won't bite you?
Yeah, that was me. Like, you put on a dragonfly patch or, like, a dragonfly that, like, hangs off, like, a metal thing so it kind of, like, moves around.
Have you tested this?
I've seen a bunch of, like, videos where people are testing it. And I talked about it to Boy Scouts in Sweden. They confirmed that this thing works, too.
Interesting.
So, like, get your dragonfly stuff out. Hey, if you're just bored and you're like me and you don't want to use social media and you, like, look at Amazon Prime instead... Then, like, maybe...
It's almost worse.
Yeah, because then you're spending money and shit.
Yeah.
So, fucking, you know, I'm going to look up some dragonfly shit, you know? I'll be prepared for next summer.
I'd like to test that
Even though I didn't get bid out on any
I didn't either.
camping trips, but usually I'm prepared when I go to those. So I'm, like, prepared for that type of stuff.
Yeah, the mosquitoes, man, they can get you. You know, there's they carry a lot of things. So you got to watch out for the skeeters, and what a great way to hack around that. But, yeah, that's the story on the sharks, Art. We got sharks getting eaten.
The story on the sharks, Art.
Yeah.
Sharks eaten by sharks, bigger fish out there. You know what's a big old event that's happening this week in Denver is the Denver Food and Wine Festival 2024. My man, Traeger Time Badstone, is going to be there. What are you pouring this year?
So come on down if you're in the Denver area. I will be representing Oyster Bay, which is New Zealand's #1 selling Sauvignon Blanc. We'll, of course, pour through the entire portfolio. We got Pinot Noir, we got Merlot. We got the Pinot Gris, not the Pinot Grigio, Pinot Gris.
What's the difference?
It's kind of it's
a whole episode.
It's a whole episode of me talk. You don't want to listen to me talk wine. I'm not that passionate about it, but I love it. I love this event. I love the company that I'm representing. They're fantastic. It's a great time. You get to try some of the best food ever. It's just fun. You know, so grab your friends, come on down, Denver Food and Wine, baby. It's awesome. Obviously, we know the NFL's back, right? My Patriots will be playing on Sunday against Cincinnati. We have the biggest underdog in the entire NFL. Vegas has us losing every game, and we're going to get completely demolished on Sunday. I say no way. Gerard Mayo, we're going to go win this game in Cincinnati.
That's going to be so much fun. I actually love when sports season goes into full effect because I'm not a sports guy, and so that means Sundays, as long as I'm not trying to go to a bar, almost everything else is like a bunch of availability that usually isn't there. It's time to shine.
That's a good point. Yeah.
It's time to shine.
If you're not a football fan, go to the grocery store on Sunday.
Yeah.
That would be the time.
Yeah, like right after all the games start.
Yep.
Don't go in the morning when the rush is there.
Oh, no.
But you can plan around these sports when you're not a sports guy.
That's true.
But they're fun to watch. They bring people together.
Love sports.
Of course, I always want to see the Broncos win. I'm kind of a bandwagon fan. I will admit to that. But I'm also a local, so I'm not rooting for the Raiders. And we got NASCAR going off in Atlanta right now.
That's right. NASCAR playoffs, baby. They're here. The field has been set. Art, you saw that race. Pretty crazy. Kyle Busch almost wins it. Chase Briscoe wins it. Tyler Reddick was vomiting and diarrheaing himself. We covered that on Mash the Gas. Incredible performance. Playoffs time, baby. We got the round of 16. We're starting in Atlanta. Hot Atlanta, baby. Let's go. Let's go racing.
Yep. And before we close this one out, our hearts are with the families out there in Atlanta from what happened earlier in the week. You know, we are 2A guys, but we do not support violence. So, would just like to support mental health. If you think there's something going on, don't stay quiet about it.
That's right.
Our hearts are with y'all. Check us out on Instagram and Facebook. Happy Friday at Happy Friday USA. Twitter or X, that's Happy Fry, Fri USA. Shoot us an email, happyfridayamerica@gmail.com. Thanks for tuning in. Much love.